I'm gonna be honest. I had to call my boys because I'm like, wait a minute. She says I'm not supporting her enough. So I'm like, what am I doing?
And one of the things I think we have learned this year was to give yourself grace, to learn how to balance those things.
I think the thing that is easy to get frustrated is when you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
If you get a plan, then you will know what's coming and you won't get as mad or get frustrated because you will know my time is coming.
Boy!
What's up, Millers, for real? Hey guys, so it's New Year's Day and we have one of our best friend couples over right now, Ryan and Quincy Booker. Where Quincy at?
Right here. Y'all.
And then there's Ryan right there. I mean, they in here, y'all. And so, babe, what we was talking about? Natasha, you can open up the session. What we've been just talking
My
about.
voice is like almost gone, but we had a discussion about how to support your spouse with their personal goals, how to help each other out with that. So,
I mean, right now it's New Year's, so we know everybody what setting goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we introduced y'all to Royce. This
He's saying hallelujah right now. Come on, say
Royce.
hallelujah.
Royce, say what's up to everybody.
Say everybody.
Hi.
Say hi.
Okay, you gonna say hi. Harvest, say hey to the family. Say hey, everybody. Mel Mel.
You see me? I'm gonna say hi.
Mel Mel was ready. All right, so clearly with it being the new year, everybody's setting goals, and I know personally, I have personal goals that are separate of Natasha. Natasha has goals that separate her. And we'll let Quincy and Ryan talk about what they both do, as they are both in two different worlds that they are taking over, but they are married and they have to learn how to rock with one another. So we'll let both of them kind of introduce it and just kind of talk what they've learned over the last year, and then also what they do. So I'll introduce it. I know Ryan has multiple roles and expertise, but one thing that he is bro, how would you like kind of like, you know, like, cause you say like worshiper, but then like artist, and like how does that work today, and like in this industry world today, like what do y'all call it? Like what do you want to be considered as? That's a great question.
I mean, because it's a lot.
Right.
I mean, I do a lot. I mean, I'm a worship leader.
Right.
But honestly, when you say you're a worship leader, that normally goes in the church context.
Right.
So in church context, you're a worship leader then. Am I labeled as an artist? Yes. When I put music on, put music out, I'm an artist. So,
right.
I mean, that's really, you got that.
You're a songwriter,
Producer, yeah. So I wear a lot of hats. That's what it is. So I can't just say I'm just one person. I'm Ryan, number one, but I wear a lot of hats. I produce, I songwrite, all of that.
But give clarity, he still has a full-time day job. So
yeah, I'm a teacher. Oh, I'm a music teacher. Shout out to my kids.
So that's the point of wisdom right there. Men, don't abandon your families to go pursue something that ain't doing it just yet. Work it in. He's working it during the day, being a teacher, and taking small strides to make it become his full-time thing. So y'all can just talk about y'all's journey in this past year. Quincy, you can introduce yourself. Quincy is Natasha's hairstyle. I mean, she just be laying up. What's up?
all those photos, my makeup
She responsible for it. She responsible for it.
That's what I do.
So y'all just talk about, you know, how it's been for y'all supporting each other just in each of your different worlds, both being entrepreneurs in your own right, but at the same token taking care of family, having a kid, and all the X, Y, and Z, and then but also still pushing forward in your businesses.
Yeah, so me and Ryan met each other in the music arena. I also sing, but I mostly do it with my husband. So that's how we met. So that's kind of the basis of, you know, how we know each other musically. And we began to sing together. If you saw him, you saw me when we were out. So when we got married, I kind of branched off and started doing the service industry thing with hair and makeup. And that's doing really, really well. So we had to figure out a good balance between family, business, and we also do a lot of ministry at church. So it's quite a bit to manage. And one of the things I think we have learned this year was to give yourself grace, to learn how to balance those things, and to just surround yourself with people that really support you as a person, making sure that, you know, your heart is in the right place, you know, that you're supporting your husband, and we don't separate what we do. If he releases a song, we released a song. If I start, you know, a salon, we started a salon. So we treat it like it's our own, even if the other person is doing it.
That's so true, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I had to mentally internalize that. Like when she started her salon, one thing was being able to support her in the manner in which I should. Like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I had to call my boys because I'm like, wait a minute, she says I'm not supporting her enough. So I'm like, what am I doing? I'm following all the hair people on Instagram. I'm like looking at all these different videos on, like, you know, how to do lace fronts and stuff like that, just so we can have conversation. But then I didn't realize that still me being the man of the house, and this is something my boys had to help me out with. Thanks, Jamal. But being the man of the house, I'm like the head of like even everything that we do. So even like whatever she does, she's looking to me for direction. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not a hairstylist. But it's the fact that showing support meant that I took ownership of what she did, as well as her taking ownership of what I do. Like, then that way we're able to support each other for real. Then I'm burdened the same way she's burdened with it. So if something's going on in the salon, I'm like trying to figure out, okay, how do you go and clean up what they did? Because right here on their head, they didn't like that part. So how do you go and do it next time the way they wanted? You know, something like that. So that's me taking ownership and treating it like it's my thing and not just listening. Like sometimes we can just listen, but it goes over our heads. But when we can take ownership and say it's like mine, so I'm trying to help her find solutions for her business. You know, so that whether it's me YouTubing or, you know, what's my homie? Tarragano is my homie now.
Heroes online. But one thing I also learned was how to communicate better, because we say stuff like, oh, I need your support, I need your help, but a lot of times, you know, our husbands or, you know, your wife may not know what that actually looks like. So I had to be like, this is what I need you to do, and same, you know, with him, so that, you know, it would be clear, because, you know, it doesn't matter that it's supporting if you're not being supported the way you need to be supported. It's almost like not being supported at all. But sometimes it takes some good communication to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing. And even accepting their criticisms, because I would take pictures and stuff and bring it home to my husband, and he'll be like, well, I don't really like this part of their hair. Like, how can you brush this up? And honestly, he's the one that's made me a better stylist, because he doesn't know what it's supposed to look like. He asks more questions. And that can kind of go in any, you know, in any sector. Like if I'm listening to a song of his and I'm like, well, babe, why does it sound like this? Or why did you do that? You know, then he has to provide language for what he's doing, which in turn makes him a better producer or a songwriter, makes me a better stylist. And I used to get so upset with him when he would ask me questions like, what do you mean? It's perfect. It was my vision. It's great. I'm Picasso. But both of us being artists, that's another thing. Both of us are artists, so I respect her artistry, but I want her to be able to explain it to me, so then that, you know, I can learn how to comment on it, or I need her to explain it just so that she knows why she did it a certain way, so she can defend it to somebody else. Hey. We are our greatest resource.
And I think like the thing I think the biggest piece is that it's not easy. All right, and I don't want no couples to think that learning to support each other is something you're going to be naturally doing, because at the end of the day, we are at our basic core of our flesh selfish, right? And that's the biggest, most challenging thing that we have to die to whenever we get married, is dying to I. So I even told Natasha, you know, this year, and I think the thing we've encouraged each other about is respecting the seasons, right? And I told Natasha this year, I said, babe, I want this is your season. Like, this is your time. I know last year I had to put extra time in to get married young where it's at today, but now it's your time. Like, I want you out front. I want you doing boom, boom, boom. And you got to respect those seasons to be able to give each other room. So for example, one of you may be in a place where one's in college and one's having to work. Don't be mad or frustrated. It's a season. Because whenever that person graduates, they're going to be able to make more money and then free you up to go do what you're going to do. And I think the thing that is easy to get frustrated is when you don't have a plan. Yeah. If you get a plan, then you will know what's coming, and you won't get as mad or get frustrated, because you will know my time is coming. coming. I'm gonna support, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna do, but get a plan. And that's, you know, and the biggest thing that I can say that's contribute to us is Natasha constantly hearing from me the plan. Like, all right, babe, this is what I'm gonna do in 3 months. This is what we wanna do in 6 months. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And it's the new year, y'all. So that's like, my thing will say is right now, get a plan. But I'm gonna let Natasha kind of share a quick nugget, you know, just really in this piece right here, because I know for her, she's had to sacrifice a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like being a mom and, you know, just the whole world of supporting this business and supporting our world in ministry. And then also in her, she has a whole lot of things that God is stirring up and God wanting to do. So saying no to those things into the right time. So baby, just speak to that as a wife. And
yeah, I totally, I was like, as everybody was talking, that's the word that came to me was seasons, because I know within our marriage, we've gone through a lot of different seasons. And I remember last year that the word that the Lord had given me personally for our family was the word stability. And I feel like within this last year, that's what the Lord did in regards to even with Married and Young, you know, with our marriage, you know, taking things off, restoring all those different things so that we could get to this place. So for me, to be honest, you know, I know that this is my season. I know that God has called me to this, but at the same time, how I think, I can think vision, but then not exactly have a plan, you know, or know exactly how it's going to be executed. So that right there is even been humbling for me to be able to even pull from my husband and knowing that, okay, that he's the guru of online stuff, but still as your husband, knowing that they completely support you, because I've never within our marriage had a season like this. So I would say, you know, I even liked, I'm kind of hopping off what everybody said because everybody said so much good stuff, but with really being able to you know, respect your spouse in regards to what their opinions are. And, you know, even with your husband, knowing that they are praying for you and that God, you know, speaks to them about you. And then also what I'm learning is that even in the midst of this transition and everything, is how God is speaking to me in regards to how he wants to use me and how this is my season and how that it's okay to where you can be a mom, you can be a supportive wife, you can have a business but still do your own thing and do something that you are super passionate about. So for me, it's a really fun and interesting time, but I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. And I'm grateful to have like a spouse that's wanting to push me further into purpose. So yeah.
So guys, I mean, you heard it. Hopefully you got some nuggets out of that. For all you couples out there, you see it. I know it's real. Dream with your spouse. The goal for marriage is for you guys to work together. It's a partnership.
And let me say one more thing. Don't be afraid, women, to open up your mouth and share what's on your heart, especially to women that have been in motherhood, or they've been the one that's always kind of had to suppress or say no to their dreams. Like, I really encourage you in this year to begin to vocalize what's on your heart and begin to share those information with your husband, share that information with friends, and pray about it, because I believe this is a year where God wants it to manifest. I know that was a fear of mine, to feel like that's just my role. Like, but it's like God's like, no, like there's so much attached to mothering.
Yeah.
There's nurturing. You're a businesswoman in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, you're planning stuff. You're organizing stuff. So why can't you do
Your
that
role is
outside
important.
Of outside the house.
But even for those of you that are having to do dual roles, if you're in the house and you're working full time, the biggest thing, like Quinn said earlier, is working smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys can have a budget and have a plan for your money, to be able to leverage your money in order to free you up to do things that you know only you can do to make more money for the household. Work smarter, right? This is all things that is important if you can sit down and really have the Holy Spirit help you to breathe life into your plans and your goals, and not just trusting your own intellect. Because sometimes for those, I feel prophetically, a lot of you feel like you're not smart enough, right? Break that spirit. That is a limiting belief. that's holding you back from truly accomplishing your goals that God's called you to accomplish. You are a family, you are a breadwinner, you are a legacy holder, and you're setting up for your future children. So I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna get out of that. But all in all, guys, we love you all so much. Pray that this episode blessed you and that you guys will be able to be encouraged and keep going. So Quincy gonna stir up too.
I just wanted to say that seeds of celebration to your spouse go a long, long way. Before I ever had a dream of, you know, doing hair, having a salon, I celebrated my husband so much.
That's good.
You know, and I wasn't doing it. I was just doing it freely. Yeah. So he was releasing a record, doing his thing. He was really thriving with the music, and I celebrated it every time I had a chance. And you know, it's vice versa. Now that, you know, I'm also thriving with something, my husband celebrates me, and it gives me the freedom to do more. You know, the right love will liberate you to a point where it launches your personality, your character, your gifts, your talents to the next level. So don't be afraid to you know, root your spouse on every step of the way, no matter whether if they're at the base level of where they want to be, or you know, whether they're at the top. Just do it. Those seeds sown will grow into a better marriage, you know.
Yeah, that's good. And it's good. That's really good, because I think too, for me, has been like learning that, you know, too, in a way of really, like how she was talking about those seeds, because it's like, you know, we are accountable for what we sow, and knowing that our spouses are huge investments, like that is the gift that the Lord has given us.
Yeah.
And I love that perspective. That's like revelation right there for women and wives, of knowing that whatever you do, whatever you sow into your husband, you will reap. And you want to sow goodness, because I'm telling you, if you in it for the long run,
listen,
you don't want to be sowing no bad seeds. You want to have some seeds in the ground.
Don't be jealous. Don't be envious of other people celebrating them and liking them and you know, enjoying what they do. You do it just like they're doing it, even more. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's reaping fruit in your home.
Yeah.
And your kids will see it, and they'll model it, and you'll have a better family for it.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
you got it.
Got it.
So you've seen it, Miller's for real, y'all. This is us. We love you guys. This is real life. That last nugget, get friends. Please. Get friends that you can do life like this with. Support it. All my single people, this is how we make it. Alright? This is how you make it as a
Look,
couple.
see these kids? We got kids. And we need outlets.
Let them just run around and mess things up. The house is dirty right now, but God is good.
God is good.
Alright, y'all. We love you guys.
Love y'all.